Recorded Books and One Click Digital present Hunting with Gods, The Merlin Prophecy, Book 3, by M.K. Hume, narrated by Stephen Crossley.
Chapter 1. An Unpromising Welcome. From the Black Book of Carmarthen. Men are in the shout of war. The ford is frozen over. Cold the wave, variegated the bosom of the sea. The eternal God give us counsel. The most eagerly anticipated return to places of one's past is often a bitter disappointment, for nothing stays the same. And so it was with Disobeys, when the travellers returned after their sea journey from Gessoriacum. Spring had barely come when they set sail, so the healers wore thick cloaks to protect their chilled flesh after some years in warmer climes, where even the coldest of winters lacked a true bite. But weather apart, Disobeys had changed in the 6 years since their departure for the Middle Sea. The Saxons had arrived in a slow trickle of traders that had escalated into a flood of unchecked immigrants. Without having to strike a single blow, the Saxon stain had spread throughout the city and out into the surrounding countryside, where it began to take root. Merlin had learned that the Isles of Britain weren't the entire world, and that their towns were small, unimportant, and bucolic when compared to the great cities of Rome, Ravenna, or Constantinople. More tellingly, the healers had experienced the great ports of the Middle Sea, so that Disobeys, which had seemed so large and bustling 6 years earlier, now seemed a minor centre of trade. This impression was not improved by a layer of grime, wood smoke, and neglect that reminded Merlin of the port of Ostia. The warehouses and docks were in a similar state of dilapidation, and the faces of the labourers had the same pinched tenseness as those of the inhabitants of the Italic port. But there the similarities ended. Fish in huge wicker baskets added their own distinctive aroma to small docks of splintering wood that stretched out into the deeper waters. Piles of goods were stacked ready to be carried to the warehouses, while huge bales were being loaded onto vessels of all shapes, sizes, and styles for the voyages to their ultimate destinations. The faces were as mixed in race as those they had seen in Ostia, but without the exotic tints of Africa and the East. Merlin even recognized some Franks on a large, disciplined vessel and reminded himself that these northerners had been crude barbarians 50 years earlier, when they were scrabbling for land and...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?